There's a couple sitting in a kitchen tonight, making more money than they ever imagined they would. They're both 35. Combined income, $214,000 a year. He works in tech. She works in healthcare. They have 2 cars, a nice suburban house, a Peloton collecting dust in the guest room, a refrigerator that talks to them for some reason. From the outside, they look rich. Inside the house, at 11:43 p.m., they're arguing quietly over whether they can afford another summer vacation without putting part of it on a credit card. And the weirdest part? 10 years ago, both of them thought crossing $200,000 would feel like freedom. Instead, it feels like maintenance. My name is Nick, and this is the story of how America accidentally created a class of people who look wealthy, earn wealthy salaries, and somehow still feel financially trapped. Because the uncomfortable truth is this: a lot of high earners are not building wealth anymore. They're financing survival at a more expensive level. Hit subscribe if you want more videos about money, investing, and the hidden math quietly shaping modern life. Because once you see this system clearly, you start making very different decisions. Let me show you 2 households. The first family lives in 1982. Dad works 1 job. Mom stays home with the kids. Single income household. He makes the equivalent of about $74,000 today, adjusted for inflation. Not rich, not poor. Comfortably middle class. They own a modest 3-bedroom house. Mortgage, about 22% of income. 1 car payment, 1 insurance policy, 1 commute. If something goes wrong, the family tightens spending for a few months and survives. Now let's jump to 2026. Dual income couple, both college educated. Combined income, $210,000. That sounds wealthy until you actually follow the money. Mortgage, $4,200 a month. Daycare, $2,400. Student loans, $1,100. 2 car payments, $1,350. Insurance, $1,000. Groceries, $1,400. Property taxes, health insurance, streaming subscriptions, summer camps, soccer fees, internet, phones, gas, the dog, the emergency dental bill. And suddenly, the household earning nearly 3 times more than the 1982 family feels 1 missed paycheck away from panic. That's the contradiction nobody talks about. Modern high earners don't feel poor because they're irresponsible. They feel poor because the definition of normal life became astonishingly expensive. Here's the part that changes everything. Most people think inflation just means stuff costs more. That's true, but the real story is what got expensive. TVs got cheaper. Clothes got cheaper. Technology got cheaper. The things that exploded in price were the things families cannot realistically opt out of. Housing, healthcare, education, childcare, the 4 pillars of middle-class life. And those 4 categories consumed almost the entire financial benefit of the second paycheck. That's the trap. Take housing. In 1970, the median home cost about 2.3 times the median household income. Today, in many cities, 6 times income, 8 times income, 10 times income. In parts of California, Massachusetts, New York, and Washington, 12 times income is no longer unusual. And here's the dangerous part. When banks started approving mortgages based on 2 incomes instead of 1, families didn't become richer. Houses became more expensive, because now every couple bidding on the same house had access to dramatically larger loans. So prices rose until dual incomes became required just to compete. The second paycheck didn't create financial freedom. It got absorbed into the price of admission. And then came childcare, which might be the most psychologically brutal expense in modern life, because it creates a financial loop that feels impossible to escape. The average infant daycare cost in many major cities now rivals a mortgage payment. Some families spend $30,000 to $40,000 a year on childcare alone, after taxes. And here's the insane part. Many parents are effectively working just to preserve the ability to keep working later. Not to get ahead, not to build wealth, to avoid falling behind. That's a completely different psychological experience than prosperity.
And this is where high earners start feeling something they never expected to feel: fragility. Because high income is not the same thing as financial resilience. A household earning $220,000 with massive fixed costs can actually be more financially vulnerable than a family earning $90,000 with low obligations. Because resilience comes from margin, not salary. Margin. The ability to survive disruption. The ability to absorb a shock. The ability to lose a paycheck without losing your life. Most modern high earners have almost no margin at all. They have high incomes paired with equally high obligations, which means every month becomes a treadmill. Run fast enough and everything stays stable. Trip once and the panic begins immediately.
There's another psychological layer to this nobody prepares you for. Lifestyle inflation rarely feels luxurious while it's happening. It feels necessary. That's what makes it dangerous. Nobody says, "I want to inflate my lifestyle." They say, "We need a safer neighborhood. We need reliable cars. We need better schools. We need more space. We deserve a vacation." Individually, every decision sounds rational. Collectively, they create a life so financially heavy that even high salaries stop feeling powerful.
And then something strange happens. The higher the income goes, the harder it becomes to emotionally step backward. Because now your identity is attached to the lifestyle. You're not just downsizing the house. You're admitting the house may have been too much. You're not just driving an older car. You're opting out of a social competition everyone around you still seems committed to playing. That's why so many households making $200,000 still feel anxious. Not because they're poor, because they're trapped maintaining an expensive version of normal. Now here's the twist. Some high earners quietly escape this cycle. And when you look closely, they usually make one decision differently from everyone else. They refuse to scale their fixed costs with their income. That's it. That's the secret. Not crypto. Not stock picking. Not entrepreneurship. Fixed costs. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine two couples earning the exact same income. $200,000 household. Couple A buys the maximum house the bank approves them for. Luxury SUV leases. Private school. High-end vacations. Expensive suburb. Large mortgage. Every raise immediately upgrades the lifestyle. Couple B does something incredibly boring. They buy less house than they qualify for. Drive cars for 10 years. Keep fixed costs low. Invest the difference automatically every month into index funds. For the first 5 years, couple A looks richer. Bigger house, nicer vacations, better Instagram. Then year 10 arrives. Couple B has options. 6 figures invested. Low stress. Flexibility. Time. Couple A still has payments. That's when the illusion flips. Because real wealth is not visible consumption. It's invisible flexibility. This is why so many actual wealthy people look strangely normal. The millionaire next door phenomenon is real. The financially strongest families are often the least visually impressive ones. Older cars. Modest houses. quiet lives. Because wealth compounds silently. Debt performs loudly. One looks boring. The other looks successful. Until enough time passes. Then the math reveals who was actually free.
There's a moment happening quietly across America right now. High earners are starting to realize they climbed the ladder and still feel anxious at the top. And psychologically, that realization is brutal. Because if $200,000 doesn't create peace, people start wondering what number will. $300,000? $500,000? $1 million? But the issue often isn't income anymore. It's structural overhead. A household spending $17,000 a month will never feel safe for long. Because eventually, the nervous system understands something the ego doesn't want to admit. The machine requires constant feeding.
And this is where the conversation usually becomes uncomfortable. Because the solution is not sexy. It's not make one risky investment. It's not start a side hustle. It's not manifest abundance. The solution is usually much more boring. Smaller fixed costs. Lower lifestyle pressure. More liquidity. More investing. More margin. Less ego. That's it. That's the entire game.
There's a family in your city right now making less money than you think is necessary to feel secure. And somehow they sleep better than households earning twice as much. Because they built a life that doesn't require perfection every month to survive. That's what freedom actually is. Not luxury, not status, not income. Breathing room. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. High earners don't feel poor because they failed. They feel poor because modern life quietly converted income into obligation. The people who escape are usually the ones willing to look slightly less successful in public so they can become dramatically more secure in private. And honestly, that trade might be the smartest financial decision left. Because real wealth isn't the ability to spend aggressively. It's the ability to remain calm when life becomes expensive. And the families who understand that early are the ones who eventually stop feeling trapped at all.